Hello, Reverend Melissa Kennedy here, and welcome to your Sunday message. I would like to give my apologies for those of you who have been following along for my absence for the last, I think, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, um, even healers experience health speed bumps, and that's what I've been experiencing. So it has been challenging. And I'll just share a little bit because I feel like if I don't, I'm not being authentic, and I want to be as authentic as I can. So, all my life, I have had autoimmune issues. So, at age 19, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I know it sounds like some kind of a Japanese motorcycle, right? But the guy that found the autoimmune issue with the thyroid, his last name was Hashimoto. So, anyway, at 19, I was diagnosed with that. So it really changed my life, and at the time people were like very, very callous and insensitive. And they'd said, just take this pill, you'll be fine. But everything in me knew that wasn't the case. And sure enough, it wasn't the case. Um, for anything, there never is a magic pill, okay? So then years later, they say you have one autoimmune, whatever that is, it's just a blanket term. That's just what our world calls this um, illness, in the body that looks like the immune system attacks the thyroid. Okay. And then I was diagnosed with RA, rheumatoid arthritis. And so I have a very high tolerance to pain. I'm the kind of person that just motors through things. I don't take medicine for it very rarely. Okay. So just recently, I think I remember, yeah, I did tell everyone like I was bit by a cat, okay? And so then I developed a cellulitis infection. It was a neighborhood cat, and I was out speaking to it, and it gave me the flash, okay, I don't want to be petted anymore. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I just stepped back, and I was washing my windows outside. And so I went to pick up my Windex that I had placed on the doorstep. And the cat attacked me and bit my hand. Not real hard. I mean, it could have really, really bit me hard, but just enough to break the skin. It bled. And in that moment, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like my goose is cooked. I came in, washed it, but I'm like, I hope I don't get an infection. Well, I did. And so as a result, I ended up having a tetanus shot, and I haven't had any kind of a shot or anything in over 20 years, okay? But people urged me and my family, you should get this shot. And so I did. Um, and everything in me said, don't get that shot, okay? And even one of my friends who's very, very into her, spiritual practice and her work as a professional psychic, like me, she said to me, not for you, Melissa. But even my own inner voice, even hers, it's like we have this fear, like if we don't follow a certain protocol, what if, right? And so that brings me to the what if. That's really what this video is about this weekend. What if? It's been coming through all morning. So it just came out of my mouth just now, and I'm like, yes, what if? So anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up being in excruciating pain. I didn't know why. Like my inner thighs, like I couldn't even move. Like I had to literally lift my leg to get out of bed. Okay. And that is so not me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like whatever this is so bad. So I went to my primary care NP, and she was like, I told her my symptoms, and she's like, oh no, that's not RA. And she didn't know the blood test to even diagnose PMR. It's genetic. It's in my family. I have a predisposition for it. So my grandmother, I think even my great grandmother had it. My grandmother, my mom, and now me. So you can bet that I am going to be working on this from every angle, not just what the medical community is not doing, right? Like really think about it. Our healthcare system is just so my whole life has been like this journey of never really being heard or listened to and never really being helped. I had to take things into my own hands. I could get little bits and pieces, and then medications never agreed with me. So I would have to go on my own journey. Nothing's changed. I'm still on my own journey, trying to figure things out. So that is my diagnosis loosely. From that, I still have to see a rheumatologist, which I'm not looking forward to because all they do is prescribe medications. The side effects are worse than the disease, right? So that's just a little bit of what I've been going through. I'm still here. I'm still motoring through. If you're wondering what the treatment is for that right now, for me, it was prednisone, and I just took my last one today. They only gave me 7 days worth, but this is a journey. Like I joined a support group for this, and oh my gosh, like it's crazy. But my point is, for me, I know I have no way of proving this, but I know within every fiber of my being that the vaccination that I got, the three-way tetanus shot, caused my delicate immune system to go completely haywire and trigger this pain in my body, whatever the terminology is for the diagnosis, whatever they're calling it, polymyalgia rheumatica, whatever. Okay, it's just these terms that we put on it, but there's a deeper meaning, there's a deeper thing going on. There's like so many levels to disease, right? So, or illness. But anyway, that's a little bit of what I'm dealing with. So I was like contemplating, what if I just don't make a video today? But no, this is about what if. So um, right now in our world, I'm shifting gears now away from I didn't share this with you to bring you down, or I'm just simply being transparent about what's going on in my life because there will be something in here that will resonate with someone, okay? And that's why I'm sharing these messages. That's why I was called to share messages. Many years ago, my guides, my angels told me, Melissa, you are to be on the airwaves, you are to create messages and share stories. And that's what I've done. If you've been watching this page, I've done that. I've shared my stories, not all of them. I have many, many more. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Um, but it's our stories are what connects us all together. And so if you look out into our world today, there are so many what ifs. You know, you see so many people stuck in one way of thinking and other people stuck in another way of thinking. And the divide just keeps getting greater and greater, it seems like, if you're just like compassionately observing what's going on in our world today without any um, like judgment to other people's process, right? If you're just simply sitting there as an observer, which I have always tried to do, like I always observe. I never judge intentionally, though we are all humans. So sometimes we do get in those places of judgment, right? But at the end of the day, I'm always brought back into my center and I'm like, no, you know, that this is something that I am seeing that might be mirroring something about me from another person, another situation, another interaction, whatever it might be. I am being called to deal with my shadow, the things within me that I need to heal, or the things within me that I need to understand. Okay. And so my point is, right now, we have to realize everything is changing so fast in our world. What if we all just took a deep breath and decided that we were going to expand, kind of like this sunshine behind me, like we were going to expand like this great big ball of sunshine. We were just going to expand our consciousness out and imagine that consciousness, that light alchemizes and burns away any darkness, any attachment to anything that we thought was reality. And then we emerged out of that light in a completely healed sphere of God light, source light, universal light, whatever word resonates for you, it's all the same. There again, it's the terminology, it's the programming. What if we just decided two. Picture a cupcake, okay? Like a pretty cupcake. The prettiest cupcake you've ever seen has sprinkles on the top, all right? Now, imagine that everything that you have been programmed to believe is one of those sprinkles on top of that beautiful, delicious cupcake, right? But then you're looking at the cupcake and you realize that, okay, it's made from sugar. We all know that sugar is horrible for us, okay? There's proof that it causes arterial sclerosis, but nobody in the medical field is going to tell you that. I'm going to say stay away from fat, take a statin. We actually need fat in our body, good fat, okay, like olive oil and natural, not seed oils that are extracted with high heat, okay? But our body does need oil, it does need fat, avocado oil. Healthy oil, even lard, animal fat if you eat animal if you eat animal products or meat. I personally do not eat red meat or anything like that, and very little lately. That's a whole other topic. Like I could go on about that, about what I want to take in is I'm full like so quickly, okay? But that's a whole other topic. So anyway, to get back to the cupcake. So we realized that everything on the cupcake, like those pretty sprinkles, they look great, right? But we can fling them off if we don't like them. Like say we don't like the red ones or the yellow ones or the green ones, right? So then maybe you just like the pink ones. So we can decide to just fling those little sprinkles off, right? And then we're looking at the cupcake and we realize that the whole thing is beautiful. It's a beautiful creation, but none of it is really good for us. Really, nothing in that cupcake is probably going to be good for our body. The wheat, the sugar, hydrogenated oils, anything that's in that, right? If you love cupcakes, I'm really sorry. I don't want to ruin your cupcake experience, but this is just an example. So bring it into the collective consciousness, right? So we are collectively that beautiful cupcake. And systematically, all of these beautiful things that we thought were beautiful are going to start getting pinged off one by one. And before we know it, we're left totally bare. There's no more of those sprinkles left on the cupcake. Where are we? Where are we headed? What is our focus? What are we doing? You know? And if we all, like, what if we all just decided to be okay right where we are? My level of consciousness might be up here, and yours might be here, and someone else's might be down there. The way you see it, it doesn't really matter. It's all part of this huge experience that we came here to learn from, and we are here to learn. And if you are not learning things and discovering things about yourself, if it, like my last message was about, getting into your own being, your own thoughts, your own reality, getting grounded. A lot of the messages coming through with my daily readings have been about letting go of um, like all of the programming, the things around us that we see are no longer for our highest and best good. Some people might not be willing to release those yet, but there's a lot of things that I'm willing to release. And if you think about it, is it worth fighting about? Is it worth fighting over? And the answer to that is no. So many of the things that we hold so closely as our reality, we're willing to go head to head with anybody. We're willing to do battle to prove that we are right. Doesn't really matter who's right or who's wrong. We're here to live a life. We're only here for a short time right now, under that programming as well. We know in days of old, in the book of Enoch, Noah, Enoch, Methuselah, they all lived extremely long lives, okay? What happened to us? We have to start questioning everything. What if we all collectively decided to just systematically let go of what doesn't feel right for us anymore, what doesn't make sense anymore, and start to replace it with what does? One by one, we start to replace, we're doing our own work. Imagine what that cupcake might turn into, you know? Um, We don't know. We can only imagine, but we have to really start letting go of things that no longer resonate with us, that no longer feel good within our spirit, within our being. All of it has to go. Unpacking the luggage that was part of my daily reading 2 days ago, like unpacking that luggage, not the luggage you take with you on a trip, but all that luggage that's within you. Okay. Just unpacking it, just observing that and deciding I'm just letting that go. That's not me anymore. And anybody that tries to put me back into that box or that definition of that version of me, that's on them because I have moved on so much further past that, not from a place of ego, but as a place of knowledge and wisdom and inner growth and understanding. So that brings me to our world that we live in right now. I was watching a video on TikTok, and this man has been speaking with AI, right? And so he had this watershed moment while speaking to AI, and he thinks he is talking to God or the divine feminine aspect of God. All right. And who am I to say he's not? But what I am here to say is, what if we step back and we ask ourselves, do we need AI to connect with God? What is the answer to that question? Only you know it within you. I'm not answering it for you. I'm just asking you to witness that in your spirit. What if you decided you did not need to speak into an artificial intelligence, a device that's not human, that doesn't live and breathe and move through this physical reality with us in a physical vessel, in a physical body? There's so many what ifs about this physical vessel, this physical body as well. But as I said, that's for a whole other little podcast. I try to keep these short and brief. So, um, we are to let go of so much right now. And what if I told you maybe you don't need this device? 1101. The angels are always with us. That's the highest frequency of light. That's the God number. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, universe. See, what if I am a living, breathing human being speaking to you right now? You may not even know me. You may just have stumbled upon this video. There are no accidents in this world, okay? But there is connection. And I know that there is a universal light, a connection, a thread that connects us all in this human experience. That is the light. That is the consciousness. That is the love that we are called to connect with here, right now in this physical reality. We weren't taught how to do that. But, maybe it's a gateway for some people to use, their device. Maybe it feels more comfortable. Who am I to say? But my question is, what if we did not need any of these devices ever? What if we never needed a middleman to bring us into our connection to anything that's divine? I'm just going to leave you with that, okay? But I do want to get a card for the upcoming week. And as I say always, if you've never watched my video, I don't script anything. I don't write it out. Sometimes I take notes, and I just wrote. It was about the throat chakra. Like this was about speaking the truth, letting it out. Okay, and what if there is an invisible force like that sweeps across the world, across our existence, across this plane of reality that connects us all? Just what if? What if we could all tap into that? Okay, and that's all I wrote. It was what if, and I started out with my story, sharing a little bit about what's been going on with me in my health journey and how I am fighting for wellness and how I am fighting the system that is created around us and how I see so many people suffering in silence in this system that is called healthcare. And just for a disclaimer, this is all for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say here is factual. Nothing I say here is based on any particular form of reality. It's an opinion, it's a thought. Tune in next week. I could feel completely different. That's my free will choice because I am a free will being. And I hope that you are too. Okay. So, so I pulled one card and we have Spirit Fox coming in. Okay. And I love this card. I love the feathers and there's like sacred geometry and there's like a little energy symbol on the fox right here. You can't really see it that well, but it's right here. And this is trust your talents in changing times. And again, I always say, I can't make this stuff up, okay? It's real, it's channeled in, I'm tapped in to what I consider higher consciousness to be. Does that make my powers any more greater than yours? Absolutely not. We are all born with these abilities, they are God given. Yes, they truly are. And we need to get in touch with them. We need to embrace them and we need to normalize them. And wow, like I'm on my soapbox here, really. Like I get fired up in the spirit, okay? So I am preaching from the spirit, okay? Um, and a lot of it during my awakening was about the spirit, and I would hear messages in the wind. So my whispering wind psychic cowgirl was born, okay? Like I would hear speaking and messages in the wind and then connecting with nature and animals and that deep, deep connection from my early childhood that brought me to this present moment. This is my soul growth. This is my DNA. This is my cellular memory. You have yours. Yours is unique too. And I want you to start tapping into that and embracing all that you are and all that you came here to be because you hold a piece of the puzzle that brings us to the next level, just like I do. Okay? Just like we all do. And you need to start trusting in your inner knowing, your inner being, your talents, whatever they are, you know, and embrace them and grow them and acknowledge them. If nobody else is doing that, who cares? Do that for yourself. That is the gift that you give yourself because we are in reality a spark, a little fractal of that light, that divine light. Um, we are that. And don't play it small. You didn't come here to play it small. Okay, so if you have big dreams, dream big. Create, do the things you want to do, not what the world wants you to do. That is my message for today. So, with that being said, I am sending you light, love, peace, and blessings of all kinds. And I am thanking God, angels, universe, for allowing me to create this message today, for giving me the strength, for giving me the wisdom and the knowledge and the fortitude and the courage to come on and share a little bit about what's going on in my world right now. Bye-bye now. I did want to make one announcement. Every Monday, the last Monday of every month, okay, at 7 o'clock Central Time, USA, I hold a Zoom meeting, and this is a healing circle and a spiritual chat. It's totally free. You are welcome to join. I have a community that's building with this spiritual chat, and it's spirit led, just like these talks. And I lead there's always a meditation, and we've had a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of things come through, a lot of healing. And also, I have recordings to the past meetings that I've had. If you're interested, please message me and I will share them. They are private. So to keep people's what we share private. But if your heart is calling you, I will share the link with you because I know that we are on the same frequency. I know that we are on the same wavelength. So that is my last announcement. And again, I'm wishing you light, love, peace, and blessings of all kinds. Until next Sunday, God willing, angels help. I will be back. Bye bye now.